Hey, welcome in, you guys. It is Sunday, July the 27th. It is about 8 a.m. Planetary hour of Venus. And we are with the moon in Virgo at 8 degrees and 8 minutes. I'm looking here at the ninth degree of Virgo. A man making futuristic drawings. Boldly breaking new ground, we must carve out our own path according to our own sense of who we are and what only we can do. Boldly breaking new ground according to our own vision. It says our right to be unique and our ability to express this uniqueness creatively must be asserted. We must take it. It cannot be bestowed by a teacher. It is only the potential to be original that is given in life. Originality itself must be assumed. All right, so what is it that we're experimenting here with? It says life is risky and we have to live with that. So we've been picking up the energy about taking a risk on a specific journey in a different direction, whatever that may be. All right. It says we can always find a legitimate way to establish ourselves with our fellows without self-betrayal or confusion, but it will involve experiments, a trial and error process. All right. I want to look at the 5 degrees or the fifth degree, the 5 degrees, the fifth degree of Leo and where the sun is heading. Looks like we're at 4 degrees and 44 minutes of the sun in Leo. Geological perspectives. It says any sense we may have that powerful and special, though often helpful in our process of self-evolution, put into the context of what unfolds in geological time, the works of nature. However young and vibrant we may feel within our own small world, we are insignificant within the greater, ageless expression of creative possibilities. So, what I'm seeing here is the potential to create your own path by doing something that is unique to you, that shows the energy of your originality. Okay, welcome in, Krissa. All right, um, we're gonna just pull a quick spread here in tarot and see what happens. Let's see what comes out. The Death card is here, Scorpio's energy. The Moon card is here, Cancer's energy. So major arcana is not only that, but we're heavy on water energy here. Scorpio, Cancer. Let's see. Page of Pentacles. Let's just say that there's a path that's closing out for you. And emotionally, you feel unstable. You don't know which direction to go in. You feel you more so at a crossroads. The Page of Pentacles will be showing where you would have to start something creatively, right? Kind of like learn some sort of new skill. Or, I don't know, it's just kind of giving me a shift in the near future of doing something and changing something in your practical life. The Three of Cups to the Five of Pentacles to the Nine of Cups. There's obviously something that's going to help you build emotionally because it's showing me from the past to the future. The Three of Cups jumps to the Nine of Cups. So right now, whatever the Five of Pentacles is, it may feel that you're in the lack of something in your practical life. The Knight of Wands is here, calling for action and for you to be more so assertive in that direction. All right, and whatever it is that you do for your work. Welcome in, you guys. The fear here says that you choose to do something in the direction that puts you in your own independence. All right, or that's the risk that you're afraid to take here. All right, but overall, you will be happier there. So again, it's going from the Three of Cups in the past to the future being the Nine of Cups. and where overall, if you were to handle this situation properly, you would be in the 10 of Cups, which brings in emotional balance, and why I see that the moon is in the challenge. So emotionally, you may not be happy where you are, which is why there's a specific cycle or portal that may be ending here coming out with the Death card. Yeah, you may feel like burdened in some sort of way, or you may feel that there's a shift that's taken place, that you're tired of carrying and or doing the overload of the amount of work that's here. Okay, so there's some sort of message or sudden change that you're going to be receiving here to make something shift in the direction that shows positivity. Okay, so I have the Knight of Swords out here and the Knight of Wands out here. These are messengers, so there's going to be an incoming message. Okay, these both knights are like super fast knights. One thing you might be passionate about, one thing you could be utilizing your mind with fire and air being here. You might be on the defense. I'm seeing the Hangman energy, which I'm being called to pull it because heavy on the water energy again. I got Scorpio, Cancer, now Pisces. Now, why are you on the energy of the defense and or trying to keep your guard up from someone that's been trying to send you a message? You're waiting for something to close out, or they're waiting for it. Okay, there's two messengers here. I don't know who is who, but it's almost like you're waiting for something to close out in connection to a home. I don't know if someone's like closing the deal on a home, or it's coming out with the Five of Swords. Like something is conflicting you here, whether you're wanting to move forward and end some sort of cycle, or if you are open to committing to someone and or whatever it is that allows you to detach from whatever else that you do. The Sun card is on the bottom of the deck. Whatever is going to take place here, or whoever's wanting to come in and send this message, is going to wait up until a cycle closes out with a home, because they feel that there's something going on here that is requiring you to detach. Something that may be speculating the energy of your mental and why you're not understanding or why you're not getting the message that this person is trying to send across. This could be definitely a brand new opportunity that's meant to come through. Maybe it's not something that's huge, Page of Pentacles, but it will be like you utilizing your skill, and it could definitely bring in a sense of abundance. And where I see the 8 to the 9 of Pentacles, all right, and it being bringing in something that's lucrative. And that's going to help you with your emotional balance. The Hierophant is here, and now the Page of Wands. All right, so you could be studying at this time, going to school, all right, and focusing on what it is that you love to create with. All right, the Page of Wands is definitely where you get self-expressive, all right, and you start to build on something from there that seems to be a passion. Maybe this is what someone is waiting for to close out. Okay. There's something having to do with like ending something with a specific community, a home, a group, whatever that may be. And then this King of Wands comes in. Give me 1 second, you guys. Something requires like a sense of maturity as well in the way that I'm looking at this, because if you are the Hierophant and you started off in this energy, clearly having whatever this community of people and whatever this organization does, there's a sense of maturity here already. It's almost like you've gotten to the height of whatever it was that you were learning about. There's something here about a leader teaching the students. The King of Wands is a leader. The Page of Wands coming in would be you being the student. You're probably tired of this. So let's just say that you've gone through a sense of maturity and you want to build something on your own now. You've been carrying the heavy load with the Ten of Wands here. The Ace of Pentacles, the opportunity will present itself from whoever this Emperor is. And this can be you or it can be someone else. That can be seen as someone that has the experience that is going to lead you to be successful. Got the Ace of Cups here, the Ace of Pentacles here. So not only would it help you in your emotional state to help pick you up out of this burden that you feel, it's also going to be an opportunity to help you in the energy of your practical life, all right, with money, resources. There could be someone that's connected to your energy that makes you feel that there's a sense of entrapment around you, coming through as the King of Cups. And then there's also this King of Pentacles. All right, so I don't know if this has to do with some sort of decision that you have to make. All right, and where there may be something that creates a sense of frustration as well. And now you kind of have to sit with the energy of your emotional state. So if this is you mastering the energy of, okay, well, I know how to be a leader. I started off at the Page of Wands and I'm now seen as to go out there and teach, but I'm tired of carrying this heavy burden of being the one to push forward with my passion. I want something fresh in my practical life, and becoming a leader and seen that way. There's some sort of frustration in connection to your emotional state as well as your practical life, which is why Spirit is showing me the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck. It could be that you feel like you deserve love in your life, which you're not open to that with the Queen of Swords. It's like you have that energy like blocked off. Or for whatever the circumstances are and why you feel burdened, there is no love in your life at this time. But they want you to be patient. All right, maybe again, there's something about a home or community or closing out a deal, all right, with whatever the environment is around you so that you can move into calmer shores. Six of Swords would be the energy of your originality. Whatever it is that you utilize your mind for, it's not going to be set for whatever you're doing right now. 1 second, you guys. Asking for balance. It has to be that you're asking for balance. It has to be that your mindset has to be set on something, removing from one thing and ending it, and then starting fresh somewhere else. Because it has to balance not only your emotional state, it has to bring in a sense of abundance. And that's what needs balance right now. I feel like you're really guarded to love at this time because of the frustration around you. And things not being in alignment. Maybe you're staying up late at night, all right? Maybe it's causing some sort of anxiety or depression or frustration in any way. I feel like there could be others that are watching and waiting and expecting something to create like a massive tower. Whoever this King of Swords is. And where you feel blocked off to love, but you rather do something with utilizing your mental, all right? Someone else is waiting for you to crash because it may feel like all of those heavy burdens that you're carrying at some point is going to like mess with your mental, and it will be where somebody's literally about to like watch someone crash the hell out. That's what I feel. It's like just waiting on the tower to happen. So not only are you blocked off in your physical life, all right, you may be blocked off emotionally, which then messes with your mental. Empress energy. I could be speaking to a Taurus or a Libra. I have Sagittarius out here, Scorpios here, Pisces, Cancer, Aries. However you're handling whatever this is, it will be handled well. It's like people still see you as still valuable, still hanging in there, being compassionate and loving towards others, still feeling like you have a sense of abundance around you no matter what it looks like, and doing something in the public eye. So whatever it is, it could be like a cloud around you not having resources, or you could be going through unemployment. There could be heavy burdens on you at this time. Emotionally, you're not happy. You could be stressed out, but the way that you carry yourself is like the Empress, and you do it in the public eye. So people are just watching and waiting, I feel like, when this tower is going to take place. Welcome in, Shannon. I'm seeing Six of Cups and Six of Wands. There's something about how people seen you in the past and how you still carry yourself today. It's like everybody could have watched a tower after another tower after another tower with different areas in your life, but you still carry this sense of recognition, and I don't want to call it fame, but people recognizing the things that you've gone through and how you were from the past to how you are now. Okay. And it's like you may not see yourself that way because you have your blindfolds on. Okay. So there's something here about remaining balanced, becoming stronger, so that when this opportunity presents itself, you're ready. Whether that be love, whether that be in your practical life, whether that be anything that's going to take you out of the funk of feeling like you're burdened and bring you back to the energy of the Queen of Cups. Maybe you feel rejected. Queen of Cups and the Four of Cups. That's a heavy Cancer energy. Maybe you feel rejected. Maybe you don't feel in the energy of your comfort zone. You know what I mean? Like, so that you can be where you want to be emotionally. You don't. There's nothing there for you to build on. It's at the root chakra, obviously, and then it goes from your practical life into your emotional life. We look at the root chakra directly into the sacral. All right, earth and water. And it's like without that, once you get to the energy of fire and air, you have to continue to elevate. So it's like maybe you are just so cold in connection to what's blocking your creativity that you don't even feel like you're starting off with some sort of solid foundation. Nothing is in alignment. That's what I mean. If it doesn't start with your home, your foundation, your family, your children, your job, you know what I mean? Anything that keeps you grounded, how do you create from there? That's what it is. You don't have any type of stability. That's what this is saying. But that's not how other people see you, because it's like you can be going through many different things, but you know what it is that your potential is, what you're capable of. And it looks like every single time you experience some shift, the moon being in the challenge, you hide your emotions. That's what it's giving me. Like you take a step back, you go hangman mode. And that's the truth. Ace of Swords. So maybe you don't have a problem speaking your mind out. All right. Especially if you're like anybody that's very intelligent or just doesn't have fucking filter in communicating. All right. It's just like you speak your truth. You don't care. But other people may see you as being this mean person or being somebody that you're really not. But it's because you don't have what it is that's necessary to move to the next level and do it in the way that it's in alignment. It works harmoniously. You feel like you collaborate with one thing and it comes in through the next thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's calling for you to take the risk, for you to have the brand new beginning. You may not know what that is. All right, you may not know what that is or what that's going to look like. That's Uranus's energy. Uranus currently right now is in the sign of Gemini. It has a lot to do with things that involve communication. It could involve studies. It could involve travel. All right. But there's got to be some sort of shift that takes place that puts you in alignment with your destiny, with the Wheel of Fortune, so that you can grow, so that there's other opportunities that present itself, so that you can see where the prosperity and abundance is. Maybe you have to go back to school. I don't know. All right. But there's a conflict here because you're not sure where this is that's taking place. What's the challenge? Where do I go from here? Is the way I'm hearing it. You know how we always say, like, how do you go from 0 to 100 real quick? I'm seeing the Fool card being at 0, and it's like, how do you go from 0 to 10? You can't make that major jump because there's a challenge there. That's exactly how I'm seeing this. Like, you can't go from having a brand new beginning to being abundant immediately. And it's like, I'm in alignment with my path. No, you're not. It's like you have to be ready to deal with the challenges that come with that. And here we are still in the first decan of Leo season. That's that card, 5 of Wands. Saturn in the sign of Leo. All right. Maybe it's calling for you to be a little bit more open to teaching people about the challenges that you've gone through. And that's the reason why the Hierophant comes out. Because it's coming out as the page, but you're technically seen as the King of Wands already. You have a sense of leadership within yourself. What are you going to utilize that towards? That's what Spirit's saying. Everything just feels like a blur. That's what I feel like. Everything just it feels like a blur. Up until you actually plan and set motion on that plan. So it's going from 7 of Cups and where you feel like, okay, there's all these different options. What do I do? What is your plan? 2 of Wands. All right, from the 2 of Wands, it jumps to the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands is like, okay, well, I now have chosen to go with moving in the positive direction. And then all of a sudden, everything seems to be brighter on this side. All right, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's like something, you get clarity about something. All right, what I'm seeing here is Aries energy and Sagittarian energy, which typically is a trine. All right, there's nothing much going on in Sag right now, but I think the energy is calling for you to at least make a move. Make a move. It could be travels. This speaks about travel. Maybe you need to move. Maybe you need to go to a different state or to a different country or something. But this speaks about, like, communication. Like, everything seems to be a blur. So the number 2 in the numerology is associated to the moon. All right, maybe you feel your emotional status needs to be that you make the right decision, right? And the number 8 is associated to Saturn. The moon is Cancer's energy. Saturn is associated to the 10th house, which is Capricorn's energy. And in opposition, that always speaks about career and or home. So if your comfortability isn't in the right direction, and your emotional state is not right, all right, you don't feel like you have a stable foundation in your environment, how can you build on a career? Does that make sense? Exactly what I'm saying. It would be like you're juggling something where you have no type of stability. And what does that create? Rocky waters. Your emotional state is off balance. You don't have a stable home. You don't have a stable job. You don't have a stable foundation on whatever it is that's blocking you and making you completely feel burdened. All right. So again, trust where you are. If you're seeing 222 on the clock, it's Spirit showing it to me here. I seen it last night at 2:22 in the morning. All right. That whatever the plan is, whatever it seems to be where you need to adapt to some sort of changes, trust that path even if you don't see things clearly. You may not know where this is all going. It may just all feel like a blur because you may feel that there's so many different options that are thrown to you at that specific time. All right. I'm annoyed. My nose is so itchy. Anytime I'm channeling like that, my nose goes crazy. Oh goodness. All right. So again, I feel like spirit is just calling that you make progress here. Okay. Kim says, I'm a Sag and I'm definitely trying to move at least to a different city. I'm in the process of looking. I always get signs all the time, keeps waiting for abundance that never comes. Something about an inheritance, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. All right. Well, um, my advice on that is, how can you look into a new city where you don't even know what type of resources you have or what to look for or where to start? Okay. If something isn't tangible in your hand, how do you know what to build with? How do you know what to plan with? How do you know where to even look? Let's say you have children. You got to look into schooling. You have to look into where you're going to be. You need a vehicle to get around. If you have to find work in that area. You know what I mean? Again, nothing happens or you cannot create with some sort of inheritance if the inheritance isn't in your hand yet. If the Ace of Pentacles was there and you would know, okay, well, this is where I want to move. This is the school I want my kids to go to. This is the vehicle I'm going to need to get around. This is where I see that, it's the best place to live. If, whether you're buying, renting, whatever, right? You have to start off with something. That's what it's saying. Okay. All right. Let me get into Kipper. Let's see what's going on here. So again, it's about like you boldly breaking new ground and drawing a futuristic viewpoint of what you want your life to look like. Okay. Hold on one second, you guys. I'm feeling pineapples this morning. I don't drink like soda all the time, but I'm thirsty. Maybe somebody's moving to Canada. Maybe. I see privileged lady and house. All right, what do we need to see here? Adjudication. Coffin. Great fortune. Concern. Under adjudication. Journey. Coffin. Soul and labor. Great fortune. Courthouse. Concern. House. So exactly what I'm saying is exactly what this is. All right, whatever is being adjudicated on your journey right now and why things are ending for you, specifically possibly in the workplace and where you feel this sense of burden or this sense of being overworked. It's like up until you receive your great fortune, which has you involved in some sort of courthouse issue, your concern is going to be, where's my stability? Where do I start? Because if I don't have a foundation, there's nowhere to go. That's what it's given. Yeah. And then it causes that sense of imprisonment, the Eight of Swords energy, and where you feel entrapped and stuck, like you have no way out. Behind imprisonment, I see thoughts. So this is, again, in your mental. Imprisoned thoughts. There's a way out of this. Let's see what it is. Adjudication on this journey. Let's see what comes out. There's conflict in having a brand new beginning in connection to your resources. Or if someone is completely grounded. Or if there's some sort of, again, stability, foundation with the Queen of Pentacles. That's what's being adjudicated, because there seems to be some sort of conflict, competition, challenge, or something that's happening in the background that's blocking from the brand new beginning. Okay? Now, coffin and toil and labor. So is someone expecting you to leave work? Because coffin and toil and labor, it's like leave what you do for work. The Page of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and Justice. I have the Queen and the King of Pentacles out here. All right, and Justice is showing me whatever this seems to be the court issue with. All right. I feel like that's when your payout comes. It's like having some sort of justice for something that you know, Page of Swords, all right, is meant to bring in a sense of balance and abundance in your life. Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. That will be your brand new beginning. Again, what is the challenge from those resources being put into your hand? House and Great Fortune. The Star is burdened. I just seen the Star card and the Ten of Wands. The Star is burdened. Feeling like at a crossroads to a sword. The Hierophant. I just heard that's the workplace. Okay. Ten of Pentacles. Could be about marriage and or long-term stability within the family dynamic. Show me Great Fortune and or Courthouse. Thank you. Has something to do with where your resources are invested. It's already been invested in a home. Interesting. You've achieved something here already. The energy is coming out as the High Priestess on the bottom of the deck. You've achieved something. The Sun in Capricorn is an achievement. That's the Four of Pentacles. And I'm also seeing the energy of Venus in Aries. At its detriment, but it definitely speaks about some sort of celebration here. Venus energy would be where you're creating. Aries energy would be in the house of self. So whatever you do that is self-expressive, and you've already invested in this and built on this and have been waiting patiently on whatever this is, your intuition tells you there's a lot of great fortune coming in connection to whatever the court issue is. You could be an intuitive. You could be a messenger. You could be able to see into the future. But it requires for you to separate from something that no longer serves you. Now, how do you do that? If your emotional state and the energy of your passion isn't bringing you any type of resources, it leaves you burdened. So this is what's being adjudicated. It's like, why am I being challenged so much at this time? All right, to have a brand new beginning and to create some sort of stability or have some sort of foundation here. in connection to my journey. But yet, the way that I see things is that resources need to be brought back into balance. A marriage needs to be brought back into balance. But it's telling me here that the adjudication has all to do with someone ending something that they do for work. All right. The great fortune is in the court issue itself. The court issue is that I've achieved my goal, Sun in Capricorn. I should be recognized, all right, and or celebrated for my wins because of what I've invested in so far. And I've been patiently waiting for this to continue to grow. My intuition tells me, all right, to just be patient with whatever it is that I feel and whatever it is that keeps me connected to my emotional state so I can be happy, right? But it's like looking out into the future, I see nothing but more heartbreak, more loss, more separation. So at that point, how do you want me to emotionally uplift myself and go after my passion if there is no resources here? That is the court issue. It leaves you feeling burdened. And burdened to what? The Hierophant, once I said, this was the workplace. You feel connected to this, but you aren't receiving anything from it. But what? To be seen as a leader. To be seen as one that has mastered oneself. Maybe you're not seeing things clearly in how this is meant to help you in the energy of self-love and or uplift you emotionally. That's the message. So if that's what it is, then I necessarily see here mentally you fucking crashing out and losing your shit. Okay? It's frustrating. There's a sense of frustration there, for sure. Let me clarify the concern of the home. It's like if I don't even have a firm foundation, where do you want me to start? I can't have a love life. I can't build on my stability. I can't be self-expressive and creative. I can't, you know what I mean? Speak to the universe and what it is that I desire to have now that I have this foundation. Let's see the house and the concern here. That's a weird date. Spirit showed me something in 2033. I wonder what's taking place in 2033. Your investments. The amount of passion and love that you have towards that. And how you would be utilizing your mindset, okay, to elevate, to continue to ascend, to continue to awaken. 2033. That is 8 years from now. Okay. Spirit just said Uranus in Cancer. I don't know what that means. I want to look something up. Give me 1 second, guys. Spirit said Uranus in Cancer. So from today's date up until 2033. Okay, let's just see. Spirit said Uranus in Cancer. I know what I heard. At 3 degrees and 40 minutes. Uranus is currently in the sign of Gemini. So Uranus is going to bring a massive change to one's emotional state in the near future. How can we get innovative? How can we utilize our skills, all right, to bring change, revolutionary change to the collective in a very loving way in the home environment? Cancer has to do with the house of home, the maternal. It has anything to do with your inner feelings, right? So healing could be something that comes up in the near future that could be significant to one's career. I do see Saturn then being also in the sign of Cancer. All right. And where Saturn currently is with Aries right now, we're going to be seeing Uranus together with Saturn. Saturn and Uranus rule over what specific sign? Aquarius. And where Pluto will still be in Aquarius within those specific years. And Pluto brings what? Destruction in order to rebuild. Interesting, right? So Saturn is going to be bringing in where Saturn is going to retrograde back into the sign of Pisces in September. Um, we're seeing discipline, structure, perseverance, ambition towards things that are Piscean energy, water, emotions having to do with like spirituality or things that exist without physical form, or understanding what it is that you feel when you have to be compassionate and vulnerable with others to help heal, because the 12th house has all to do with like you know, those that have like imprisoned minds. Okay. um in the sign of Cancer, it would be more in the state of feeling uplifted, structured in the connection to home, family, again, the inner healing that has to take place, and a maternal instinct being very significant to that connection. Why? Because Saturn is the father figure, Cancer is ruled by the mother figure. So if the family dynamic isn't right, in sync, there is no stability. That was the message from Spirit specifically. All right. I just want to read out where Uranus will be at the 4th degree in Cancer, and where we would be experiencing change from today's date up until 2033. I'm just curious. At the 4th degree of Cancer, it speaks about a cat arguing with a mouse. It says the realizing self-justification. We must not lose opportunity through failure to make a resolute and self-serving claim upon the world, making our selfish claim without apologies. The clever mind finds ways to justify why we should allow ourselves to slip back into old selfish ways of acting upon desires and or curiosity. The urges are many and have inclination to be obedient to a major policy decision to become a better person. It is important to understand these inner ambiguities if we are to find ways to deal with them. So this can be like a cat and mouse thing within yourself. All right. It's like the way of being selfish. I wonder why you would be selfish, because you've experienced things that change how you feel emotionally, makes you change the way that you see what your hobbies or your passions are, makes you change the way that you see family or the stability in your life, the way that you live a practical life. So you try to do things without apology. You're just like, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? And that would definitely be Uranus's energy, because Uranus is chaos. All right. Now, Saturn in the sign of Cancer in 2033, we're going to be looking at the 14th degree, in which speaks about a very old man facing a vast dark place or dark space to the northeast. This one speaks about remembering the eternal truth. As all that passes away proves to be, or proves to have been ephemeral, what remains is the lasting truth. All right, so discovering, or the discovery of universal eternal truths. It says the archetype of the enlightened one is often portrayed as the wise old man. We think of the Buddha or Lao Tse or Plato. It says the association is with the unbending singular dedication to the study of truth. Beneath all that changes and above all visionary aspirations is something that endures and is ever stable, basic, and true. To live in remembrance of this is profound spiritual wisdom. All right, so as we are structuring ourselves now in the connection to spiritual enlightenment, all right, with Saturn going to be retrograding back into the sign of Pisces, and we're from the 26th to the 30th degree, it speaks about the realization of faith having all to do to the connections to your spirituality. We have the North Node that is currently in Pisces. All right, we're looking at North Node in Pisces at 19 degrees. I'm just curious. And this is exactly why. From 16th to the 20th degree, it's all about spirituality. All right. From the 21st to the 25th degree, it speaks about purification. And then when we get to the 26th to the 30th degree, it speaks about the realization of faith. When Saturn returns back into Pisces, we will be going retrograding back into ways that we were supposed to idealize what it is that we see through God's eyes. Right? Let's take a look at this energy of the master instructing the pupil. This would basically be like you seeing you're being seen as a master of how you want to create your life and how you're going to transmit that knowledge. So, a master instructing his pupil. Transmission. Knowledge is kept alive by teachers who pass their information, understandings, and materials to their students. Participate in the transmission of love and knowledge. The functionality in our winning support for our idea is an aspect of the work. It is of individual worth to study, learn, and grow, yet there is a greater imperative that the special knowledge must be invested in furtherance so that the line continues. There is a stream of spiritual awareness passed from teacher to student, and the more committed students become the teachers, and it keeps the tradition alive. So within Sufism, this is called the Silsila, which is also known as the transmission. So the way that we see things right now and how we are supposed to be the Hierophant, and where we stepped into a position of learning a new skill and becoming the teacher, it was coming through in the reading as being seen as your specific passion, being coming into an energy of the Page of Wands, but you coming out on the other side as the King of Wands, and being able to be seen as a leader to be able to teach someone else your knowledge or what your passion is. All right, so elucidation. It says teachers guide us to places in the psyche that we don't even know existed. That's what I feel. So when you're not in alignment, you don't have foundation. When you aren't able to create, you're not okay with your emotional state. You don't know where your mind is at this time. Your heart space is not connected to anything. It's like, can you even take action on anything? There's something here about the need for balance within your subconscious and your conscious minds. All right, when you're asleep or when you're awake. What is an illusion versus what is a reality? Something like that. That's part of your journey. I've seen 0 to 10 again. I've seen the number 10. I thought of the Wheel of Fortune. That's part of your journey here in this lifetime. All right, I'm going to go into Answer Oracle. I'm actually going to pull 7 cards. I feel like this is highly connected to chakra energy right now and how you're supposed to be on the other side, elevating yourself, right? We're going to do root chakra to crown chakra. I'm going to do 7 cards and we'll see what the energy comes out. We'll clarify it. At the root chakra, you feel limited. All right, there could be some sort of boundary there or something that is willing to speed up, but there's also this energy of like an explosion. That could be where the tower is taking place at the root chakra, so you build from scratch. At the sacral chakra, and where you should be creating, I understand why this definitely is connected to the word worth. All right, so your efforts are going to be rewarded in whatever it is that you've been getting creative with. The success lies in your hands. Who are the hands ruled by? Gemini. Where is Uranus right now creating change in the sign of Gemini? It won't be there for the rest of this year. It will retrograde back into Taurus. All right. Taurus, I believe in being part of the throat area. Could have a lot to do with getting you ready for communication when we step into the sign of Gemini. All right. Something's within reach here with your sacral chakra. Now at the solar plexus, let's see. You're healing. I've seen the treatment card. And where you want to take action, or that's where you're taking action right now, is on your healing state. It's part of your journey. It's part of the process. You're healing from something. All right. The solar plexus is associated to fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sag. Where is the wounded healer? Chiron, the asteroid of the wounded healer, in the sign of Aries right now. And where you are dealing with core wound and focusing on that healing that needs to take place. All right. Now at the heart chakra, let's see. I see there's love there, or there should be love there. All right. You should be surrounding yourself by those that show you appreciation, those that respect you, those that you can trust, those that are fond of you and who you are as a person. Okay. At throat chakra, I see the seagull. So this is where your perseverance is. This is where you feel free. All right. This is where you feel fearless. You don't give a shit. You say how it is. That's what I'm feeling. The seagull comes in and sees something that it wants, even if you're flying around a pizza, it's coming down to get it. You know what I mean? Let's get into the third eye chakra. The father figure is here. So your third eye is where you're seeing something that you're supposed to be teaching. You're supposed to be teaching that. And it could have a lot to do with your abilities, your psychic abilities, how you are intuitive, whatever that may be. All right. Or this third eye energy allows you to protect yourself and what it is that you know, or how it is that you're persevering with what it is that you're communicating about. Now, at the crown chakra, let's see. There's gratitude. And that comes directly from spirit. Because at that point, you're connected with source. All right. You could be grateful for the things that you were able to see with your third eye and things that you were taught. Let's bring it backwards for a second. All right. Show gratitude to the father figure, for you to be able to persevere and speak what it is that you feel in your emotional state that has allowed you to heal, know your worth, and what has blocked your limits, or what has kept you feeling like you've been bound to something. Now let's start back at the root chakra. You have your boundary up because you want your efforts to be rewarded, but you're focusing on your healing because you want appreciation so that you can persevere and teach what you're thankful for. You see what I'm saying? So look at it in both perspectives. Others are on different areas on their path, and where you may be working on one specific chakra, and where someone else is like, I'm highly elevated here, I can teach you this now. See what I'm saying? So this is all part of a dream. It may feel that this is something that you desire. It may feel that you're living in some sort of nightmare, or you're in some sort of omen, or, oh, this is just a fantasy. It's because everybody in their dream, on their journey, all right, you're on a different path. Everybody's not on that same path. I'm going to split the deck just because I'm curious. Prosperity and abundance, your wealth is right there. Okay? I think that was the best way to explain it when you're looking at where you are with the chakras and where you could elevate if you were moving and taking a few steps back in order to take a few steps forward, depending on where you are on the journey. This specific reading, it's stating that there needs to be some sort of foundation because your efforts are meant to be rewarded. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that you can continue to heal whatever it was that hurt you or kept you, in the sense of why you have that boundary up, why you chose to go create in whatever it is that you self-express with. All right. I forget how the words go with the chakras. I believe it's what I have, what I can, something like this. I know it's like what I love, what I speak, what I see, what I know. All these different things you have to be in alignment with within yourself, and knowing that that is you speaking from your truth, right? Let me look into the chakras so I'm not like guiding you guys on the wrong direction here. Like there's a specific mantra that you are supposed to embody, all right, when you represent wherever you are on that journey of that specific chakra. Let's see. So at the root chakra is I am. All right. At the solar plexus, at the sacral, you see I feel. All right. So I am, I feel, I do, I love, I see, I speak, and I understand. This is how you would start from root to crown. And it all is based in the energy of the colors, right? So if you start to see synchronistic signs, and you start seeing lots of colors around you, and you're like, today I saw nothing but yellow. I saw yellow vehicles. I saw everybody wearing a yellow shirt. Or it's just saying that you are in this energy of like, I know I can do this, right? In the heart chakra, you would see just a shitload of green, and it would be like, oh, I love this. Like, I love what I'm doing here, whatever it is. All right. So that's what I feel. All right. I'm gonna pull from Angel Tarot to close this out. Let's see what Spirit wants us to end this with. Thank you guys for being here. I know it's early. I need to go make my coffee. So yeah, there's something here about Uranus's energy, you guys, and where we're going to see a major shift from Uranus being at its last degrees in Taurus for the remaining of 2025 and heading back into the sign of Gemini officially for the next 7 to 8 years before we see it ingress into the sign of Cancer. You love this reading? I love this reading too. All right, the King of Swords is here, the Exalted God. So you're having some sort of victory here, grants victory, protection from lightning. I feel like you're ready to go. You're here. I just like goosebumps all over my body. You're here. All right, Ace of Swords, affinity and friendship, and obtaining the friendship of anyone. I feel like your victory is here. I feel like you've been made passionate toward God with the Eight of Wands in this deck, the Great and Exalted God. So there's this energy about feeling exalted right now in your comfortability, in where you work best. All right, and it could be that it says God above all names that have been elevated. All right, there's a specific friendship that you have obtained by obtaining that passion toward God, and where you have some sort of victory because of mental force as well. I see mental force here. All right, and being protected from some sort of illness or being in the energy of sorrow. Again, you're going through healing. All right, I love you guys. I'm leaving the reading here.